Hey Harmonizers, welcome to this video with Pretzel, where I'm going to show you a little bit of how she's doing with her touches, and then we're going to take her out and into things around the farm for the first time. We took her outside to eat grass, but now we're actually going to venture into the indoor arena, and you guys are going to get to see how she does in there and being asked to go over a pole for the very first time. So first up, this is how her touching is going on the left side of her body. It's basically pretty awesome. I can rub all over, do her belly, starting to touch on her legs, and she's doing really awesome, standing really nicely for that. She's super cute, got her little ear on me there as I'm going down her leg. She's paying attention, but she's really nice and accepting. And then when we go to the right side, well, you're gonna see a totally different thing. And lots of times people say, well, maybe something's wrong with her eye, you need to get her eyes checked, and that's not usually the case. A lot of times when you have these Mustangs, they have one side that is better than the other to start with, and then because the horses, just the way their brain is, they don't process the right and the left the same way. So it's not like humans where you see something out of your left eye and then your brain comprehends when you look out of the right eye, it knows it's the same thing. It can identify the same object. Horses are not the same. You essentially have to tame both sides of their body. So this is a little look at trying to get onto that right side of her body. And this is part of the reason why we called her Pretzel, is because she tries to pretzel her body to look at me out of the left eye, even though we are trying to touch that right side. So she tries to turn her body. It's super cute. Also, along with the fact that she gives us really calm energy vibes, that we think she's going to be a future amazing lesson pony or kids horse. She's just got a really nice, calm demeanor. Even though she's worried, like you can tell she's bracing in her body, but she's really calm about it. She's really trying to think her way through things, but she definitely has a defensive posture going on. And this just shows you how shy she is on that right side of her body, and she's not entirely sure about me being over there. So it's just something that I have to work through. I'm going to be using the boomerang approach and retreat way of making progress on her body, and there's lots of things that you want to keep in mind when you're doing this type of work with horses. There's like when to release, when to reward, how long to stay, all of those pieces. And so what I've done is I've put together a video of this whole piece of me touching on this right side and showing how I make those progressions and guiding through that, and I'm putting that in the Connection Club for our feature video of the month. And so the Connection Club is at harmonyhorsemanship.com, and you can take a look there to get that full video. I'm going to show you guys now how we finished the session. So you can see I can pet her on that shoulder, on that neck area. She's doing really well. And then I like to help that right-left brain connection by doing some switching of sides. So I'm going to pet her on that left side where she was comfortable before. And even though she's comfortable on that left side, sometimes when you swap the sides from right to left, they can get a little bit jumpy again. So it's really great to practice then swapping those sides. I spent about 20 minutes on this session getting her to this point where I could swap sides and pet her on that neck and that shoulder area, and progressing to touch her legs and her hips is going to come as we do more sessions, but at least we've got that part working really well. So I'm going to show you guys now her first trip going around the farm into the other side of the farm. So before I showed you down the arena side, we went down and we ate grass. Now we're actually going to take her around the farm on the training side where all the other horses go. So this is going into the round pen. And she's so cute. Look how slowly and carefully she walks through there. This is why I say that we get these lesson pony vibes from her, because she just seems to be really slow and careful. She's not a horse that seems to be really fast and reactive, and not really super flighty in that sense. She seems to really want to try to be slow, careful, think her way through things. And that was really easy coming into that round pen. It's a nice narrow space, and she did that really nicely. And just went really slowly coming out of the round pen, just carefully over the little rail there. So super awesome about that. We're going to head into that indoor arena as well. We're going to see how that goes. Here she's just being a little cautious as she's taking grass. So sometimes as we start to work on things, we'll see the horses get a little bit nervous again. So I'm trying to respect her space a little bit, offer that positive reinforcement. And we're going to go head over to the indoor arena and see how she does with that. So this is going to be her first time going over in here heading over, and I've got my bucket of grass with me. And usually what I do is once I go into the arena, I'll put the bucket down, and so that I've got 2 hands on the rope just in case I need that. So we're just going to walk up, pretend like it's nothing, no big deal. She's stopping. She's like not so sure about what's going on here, so I'm just going to hold that pressure just nice and gentle and make sure I give big releases as she comes forward. And I want her to get to a point where she can peek in the door, because once she can peek in the door, then she can see that there's space. Horses' eyes take quite a bit of time to change in terms of the lighting to adjust to the darker level. So I want to allow her some time to really look in there, make sure that it's okay, and then she can mosey her little way in there. She got a little bit nervous. I think she touched the rock and spooked herself that's sitting there and pulled backwards. So that's why it's important that I had 2 hands on the rope, because I don't want her to learn that she can pull away. That would be probably the worst thing in the scenario, is if she were to pull the rope fully out of my hands and run away, then she would learn that that's an option. So I want her to know that I'm going to be slow, I'm going to be patient, I'm going to allow her to go when she's ready, but she does need to look and she does need to try. And so then there, when she was ready, she goes in. And even when she had that little kerfuffle where she spooked at the door, it wasn't super awful. It wasn't like dramatic rearing, or like some horses can get really animated. She still stayed pretty calculated, I would say, about what she was doing. So we go into the arena here. She's doing super awesome coming in, and you can see how that looks like. It's very dark when you come in. Now once you're in and you adjust, it's okay and you can see, but it's quite scary as you come in. And then there's all this stuff, there's like buckets and everything that you're coming by, these muck buckets, these pitchforks, all this stuff is all new. She sees all these jumps here. She's not too sure what she's looking at. I'm just letting her kind of take everything in, give her some of that positive reinforcement, give her some more of that grass. And my goal for this session is just to do a little bit of walking around, just kind of get a feel for how she is out here. I don't need to do a lot with her. I just want her to understand that this is a happy space where we're going to go around, get some grass. It's going to be happy times for her. And we're going to try going over these poles, because we've got some poles on the ground, and I just want her to know that she can follow me through things. And I'm going to set it up in a way that sets her up for success, where we're going to go towards the exit, like we're going to go towards the home zone. So rather than asking her to cross over something going further into the arena, we're going to do these poles going towards the home end. And so she's looking at it. She's not too sure that it's something that we can possibly cross over. So she's sniffing, and anytime that she wants to put her head down, sniff it, inspect it, I want to make sure I allow that, because she's thinking about it. And then she crosses with her front little feet, but she's not too sure about her back feet, which is pretty normal for a lot of horses. They tend to be a little bit more brave with their front feet than they are their back feet. So no big deal. I just let her come to me, and then we're just going to circle back and we'll try it again. When you use positive reinforcement, the worst thing that happens is they just don't get the grass for crossing over the pole. I'll wait until she crosses over it with all of her feet, rather than giving her grass for crossing over it with just the front feet only. So she kind of does the same thing, where she does her front feet and she's like, I don't see the purpose of walking over all of these things and walking over with my back legs. So no big deal. We just circle back and we'll try it again. And through this whole process, she's also learning that it's okay to try, that I'm going to be fair. I'm going to be only asking her things that she can do. I'm going to be patient with her. And then look at that. She just walks through so calmly. Then I'm going to offer her some grass for going over with all of her feet there. So I'm loving her personality. I'm loving how her brain works and how she's such a thinker. And really just slow and careful. Don't know if she'd make a good speed extreme cowboy horse at this point, because she's very slow, but that's a great quality to have. There's lots of things that we can do with that. So after walking over the poles here, I was like, okay, well, I can ask her to go between the poles, do something a little different. So I got to bring her back around so that way we can go between, and then I'm going to guide her through those poles again. So whatever it is that I ask her to do, if she tries to offer something different, I don't get mad at her and make it a big deal, but I do want to correct her and show her that she can do the thing that I asked her to do. And it's stopping and clarifying what I want is really going to help her figure out what it is that she's supposed to do. So she gets a little bit of grass for that, have a little moment to just relax before we try walking around a little bit more. She's doing so amazing. Look at her walking and figuring out how to go over these things. So now that she did the poles going towards home, I thought, well, we'll try going away from home. And she's just so careful. Look how she's just looking over there, just really carefully over that, loving how thinking she is. Like, she's really trying to take it in and assess a situation and respond correctly. So I love that. I love that she's trying so hard, and she's really keeping herself in that thinking frame of mind. Walking through the poles, going the other way. She's so slow and careful. She's so cute. Look at that little walk that she's got going on. It's awesome. Getting lots of little grass along the way. Do a little bit more walking around with her here. And as we're going around, she's just learning the really most basic principle of creating a yes horse, which is I ask you to try something, you try it, and then I offer you a reward for trying and just doing your best. And I want her to be really enjoying this and realizing, look, we do these fun little puzzles together, and then you get grass as you do it. Rather than just, walking around the arena only, I want to start her realizing, like, look, we get to solve these little questions that I ask you to do, and then you earn positive reinforcement along the way. It just makes it a lot more interactive for her and helps her figure out what it is that we're doing here and what's expected of her. So that, in a nutshell, is her first time in the indoor arena. Now I'm just finishing with a little bit of touching because I had spent a lot of time not being close to her, just to give her that space while she could figure out something new. Because remember, if you try to train two things at the same time, it can be very overwhelming. So I thought, we'll give you your space and do some of these things walking around over your poles, and now just finishing with a little bit of touching to just remind her that touching is friendly as well. But otherwise, that wraps up her session in the indoor arena. Let me know in the comments what you think of Miss Pretzel so far and what your favorite part of her training journey has been so far. Thanks for watching. Remember to subscribe and check out harmonyhorsemanship.com for even more learning.